Good morning.
Good morning.
And Happy New Year. Welcome to Grand River Unitarian Congregation. My name is Kathy. About 15 years ago, my journey with this congregation began. At the time, I was searching for a liberal emphasis following my very conservative Protestant upbringing. I discovered it here in spades. This place quickly became my GRU family, GRU for Grand River Unitarian. We hope that your presence here today will be an enriching experience for you as well. Please know that you are warmly invited to join us for coffee, tea, and conversation downstairs after the service. Feel free to ask questions. If you are not receiving our weekly email newsletter, you can fill out a welcome card in the pews and put it in the offering plate. We have one announcement this morning. After the Sunday service, the Defending Democracy group invites you to meet in the sanctuary at noon for a 40-minute discussion of the potential challenges to democracy that have come with AI. If you heard Aaron Aspenmeter speak a few months ago, you know this will be a very interesting talk. And if you missed it, this talk promised to be just as profound. The focus of today's reflection is, what do you need to let go of to make room for something new? This question allows me to reflect on situations when, in order to accomplish a certain goal, I needed to move on from the comfortable pew. I remember when Norm and I moved to the United States in order to pursue a common dream. We had just been married for 10 months after a 3-year courtship. I was 19 years old and Norm was 22. Can't make this stuff up. We had to leave everything we knew behind. I typed weekly letters home on a Remington typewriter, welcomed our Canadian friends and family members who visited us in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Fort Wayne, Indiana, St. Louis, Missouri, and Belleville, Illinois. We missed being together at the family birthday parties and get-togethers, but we always made it home for Christmas. We also returned for funerals. My grandma, my grandpa, and Norm's 52-year-old dad. After 7 years, our goal was accomplished, and we returned to Canada with our 4-year-old son and 6-week-old daughter. Life's messy. We just get to live it once. Thomas Edison said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try, just one more time." Muhammad Ali recalled, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion." And Earl Nightingale declared, "Don't give up on a dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyway." And so let us settle into this space, this common bond that has brought us to share this precious time together. Let us silence our cell phones in order to be fully present to this moment, to our gathering together. Please rise in body or in spirit for hymn 118, "This Little Light of Mine," in the hardcore hymnal.
And praise. Gretchen Haley asks, what's something that is beginning for you in the new year? This morning we are focused on the gift of beginning again. We'll be exploring this through our annual ritual of the fire communion. Our fire communion is one of our most treasured rituals, a way to mark the passing of time with intention. Our time together this morning will be a chance for us to release those habits or beliefs or experiences from the past year that we wish to leave in the past. In doing so, we are making room for something new to begin. We do this in community as part of our promise to walk together through all of life's joys and sorrows and in the tangled blessing of it all. If you had the chance to start again, to make your life from scratch, to decide what sort of person you would be, who you would love, and how, the content of your days, your hours, what songs would you sing to yourself or with others? What prayers would you let fall from your lips urgently and with praise, with mercy or hope? What blessings would you name and share with strangers, with friends? If you could take now that first step, what journey would you begin across deserts or mountains? Or would you take to the sky, which, despite the bitter cold, is still vast and filled with light? What work would you take? What mischief would you make with boldness and bravery? What failure would you embrace, and what would you release? And where in the end would you return and call home? In this new day, at the start of this young year, no magic wishing or wondering is required, for such a chance is always available. As with the in and out of our breath, to begin now, to live it like we mean it, to see with new eyes the life that is already and always available, to respond to this gift with wonder and gratitude, to join in this partnership, to tend the flame of our chalice, even when it breaks our heart, to keep showing up, to go with courage into this dawning day. Come, let us worship together. We are going to sing our chalice lighting with the help of our song leaders. The words are in your order of service. Is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in harmony with the earth. Thus do we covenant together. Children of all ages are invited forward for a story with Nick.
Good morning. Good job, Ian. Did you ever dream that you could fly, and then you woke up to the gravity of the situation? Well, I'm going to read to you Mo Williams' book, one of the Elephant and Piggy books. This one's called Today I Will Fly. There's little pictures of Piggy flying there. Today I will fly. No, you will not fly today. You will never fly. I will try. Goodbye. You will not fly. She will not fly. Fly, 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 fly. He's jumping up and down. Fly, fly, fly. You need help. Thank you. I do need help. I will get help. Woof, woof, woof. He's being chased by a dog. Woof, woof, woof. Jumping. Now he's on top of elephant. Now she's on top of elephant. I did it. I flew. Thank you for your help. You did not fly. I did not fly. You jumped. I jumped. It was a big jump. Yes, it was a big jump, but you did not fly. I will try again. I will eat lunch. Goodbye. Fly, fly, fly. Oof. There's a pelican looking on. You need help. I do need help. Will you help me? I will. I will help you. Thank you. Hello? Hello? What's Piggy doing? You are flying. You are flying today. My friend can fly. She can fly. I am not flying. You are not flying. I am getting help. Who's holding Piggy up? The pelican. Thank you for your help. they're sitting together, and Elephant says, "Tomorrow, I will fly." Good luck.
I offer a New Year's story by my colleague, UU Minister Robert Fulgham. A tabloid newspaper carried the story, stating simply that a small-town emergency squad was summoned to a house where smoke was pouring from an upstairs window. The crew broke in and found a man in a smoldering bed. After the man was rescued and the mattress doused, the obvious question was asked: "How did this happen?" "I don't know," he said. "It was on fire when I lay down on it." The story stuck like a burr to my mental socks and reminded me of a phrase I'd copied into my journal from the writings of Horace. Translated, it says, "Why do you laugh? Change the name and the story is told of you." It was on fire when I lay down on it. A lot of us could settle for that on our tombstone, a life story in a sentence, out of the frying pan and into the hot water. I was looking for trouble and got into it as soon as I found it. The devil made me do it the first time, and then I did it on my own. Or to point at the truth at a less intense level, I report a conversation with a colleague who was complaining that he had the same damn stuff in his lunch sack day after day. "So who makes your lunch?" I asked. "I do," he says. We've got some fine old company in this deal. St. Paul bemoaned the fact that I cannot understand my own behavior. I fail to carry out the things I want to do, and I find myself doing the very things I hate. And the Greek dramatist Euripides puts these words in Medea's mouth just before she murders a bunch of people. "I know what evil I am about to do. My irrational self is stronger than my resolution." Psychiatrists make a lot of money out of this dilemma, and theologians make a lot of noise. But not only is it unresolved, it is unresolvable. One lives with the dilemma, and in the living takes comfort in the company of those who habitually lie down on burning beds of one kind or another. It would be better if we could simply lay claim to the beds we choose as our own and just get on with it.
It is now time for the offering. During a time of electronic bank withdrawals and e-transfers, it may seem a bit redundant to pass a physical offering plate. However, it does have a symbolic emphasis. It reminds us of the importance of this congregation in our lives, how, by our personal and financial support, it remains here for us and hopefully for the next generation. The offering reflection is from a popular poem by an unknown author. Hold on, hold on, hold on, they said. You're a dandelion in the breeze. Look what the winds of change have done to all these autumn leaves. Hold on, hold on, hold on. This big wide world is not for you. Hold on for long enough for the last gust to dance on through. So I held on, held on, held on. They said that's how you know you're strong. But not until I wilted did I notice something wrong. I thought holding on was bravery, but when the winds of change do blow, sometimes it's even braver still to let go, let go, let go. The offering will now be gratefully received.
In the Buddha's third formal teaching, he addressed a group of people who worshiped fire, a people who performed specific daily fire rituals as a way, so they believed, to achieve a kind of salvation, atonement, and purification by proxy and sacrifice. So the Buddha got their attention by announcing, everything's on fire. The world is on fire. We are all always on fire. If your eye is on fire, then everything you also see is on fire. If your mouth is on fire, then everything you say is also fire. If your heart is on fire, then everything you feel is also fire. Everything, he said, in our internal landscape burns with the fires of compulsion, hostility, and confusion. And so we project these things into our interpretation of what we see and say and feel into the world, wherein we see a reflection of our own compulsion, hostility, and confusion. And oh my goodness, aren't we feeling that in the political landscape now? Teacher Devon Thomas Jones explains the fire teaching in this way for a modern predicament. The world shows up according to the quality of our attention. It strikes me that these days not many of us may be fire worshipers, but a lot of us pay attention to the news as it is represented on the internet. In fact, it is rather easy to pay a great deal of attention, not only to the news, but to the opinions people have about the news, and then to think about our own opinions about those other people's opinions. It's not so much that the world is burning, but that the world is a drama. The world of our experience is a constant drama driven by the plot lines of compulsion, hostility, and confusion. The remedy to these things is to first pay attention not to the content of our experience, but to how it shows up for us. After all, we're still in charge of what we pay attention to and how to respond or react. The fire of compulsion is quenched by centering ourselves in gratitude and acceptance to foster a sense in ourselves of enoughness. Hostility is quenched by developing kindness, centering empathy, cultivating compassion. Confusion is quenched by developing wisdom, to get curious about what we don't know, to remain humble in the face of our natural limitations. If we can imagine our experience as being on fire in terms of a metaphor of burning, then we create peace and loving kindness by cultivating contentment, love, and wisdom, instead of further mirroring the hostility, the compulsion, the confusion. The poet T.S. Eliot, who, by the way, was raised in a Unitarian church, you always have to see that. Eliot was inspired by the Buddha's Fire Sutra. In his poem, The Four Quartets, he wrote of human suffering that we only live, only suspire, consumed by either fire or fire. He wrote, there is only the fight to recover what has been lost and found and lost again and again, and now under conditions that seem unpropitious, but perhaps neither gain nor loss. For us, there is only the trying. The rest is not our business. Social activist Margaret Wheatley was deeply moved by these particular verses. In Eliot's words, she finds the reminder of the paradox that in order to access deeper wisdom and insight, we must be willing to let go of what we believe we know for certain. Wheatley writes, "We create ourselves by what we choose to notice. Once this work of self-authorship has begun, we inhabit the world we've created. We self-seal. We don't notice anything except those things that confirm what we already think about who we already are. But when we succeed in moving outside our normal processes of self-reference and can look upon ourselves with self-awareness, then we have a chance at changing. We break the seal. We notice something new." A few years ago, Wheatley continued, feeling imprisoned by the beliefs I was promulgating passionately to myself and to the world, I imagined creating a year-end ritual I call the Bonfire of Beliefs. At least once a year, can I take those ideas and beliefs I most cherish and try to see the world without them? Give up what I believe so that I might become open to something much bigger, much wilder, beyond what I currently believe to be certain. Do this over and over until I wring inside from hollowness and emptied faith. Accept the faith I learn in the waiting. Real faith. T.S. Eliot writes, "We must be still and still moving into another intensity for a further union, a deeper communion through the dark, cold, and empty desolation. The wave cry, the wind cry, the vast waters of the petrel and the porpoise. In my end is my beginning." Our fire communion ritual is an invitation to release something you've been needlessly carrying, an obstruction, a weight, an encumbrance that has tied your hands or your energy or your mind. Each of you should have received a piece of flash paper when you entered today, so raise your hand if you do not have a piece of flash paper, and Lisa will bring you one. It's important to only use the flash paper so you don't set off the fire alarms. I'm armed so you can be less dangerous. I want you to take just a couple of moments in silence with that piece of flash paper. Take a moment to write or just hold and imbue this paper with something you want to let go of from the past year. Something you might let go of to make room for something new, to start a new story. If you want, you can write it on the paper. Nobody will see it except you and the flame in the universe. So I offer you a few minutes of silence for reflection and writing before we begin. leave room for something new, something beginning, something being born. I remind you of some of our logistics. We will make plenty of time for this ritual, so you do not need to all stand at once. There is no reason to create a long line, and in this flu season, probably you shouldn't be standing in a very close-packed line. And I ask that we maintain a respectful silence so that you can hear the hush and the rush of the flame as it accepts your offerings. When you are ready, we invite you to step up to the fire bowl, and if you want to name what you are releasing, you can speak into the microphone, and it is intentionally facing me so I can hear you. People won't be able to see you anyway, so speak into the microphone and tell me instead of turning around to the line. As much as possible, it's helpful if you come through the center aisle and return through the side. It's not always possible. As you feed the flames and let it go, remembering not to reach into the flames for any reason, feel yourself making this choice. The flame is going to take the paper very quickly. Don't turn away from it. Take some time to watch the process. As the flame takes the paper, let it go and let the fire do the rest. Feel the weight of what has been holding you back in your body and in your spirit. Feel yourself letting it go. Feel the freedom to move forward, to take that first step into this new year and the potential to begin again. Come, let us release our burdens to the flame.
Waiting for kindness from the unkind.
We bless this fire communion flame on behalf of those who arrive disheveled, carrying questions, contradictions, grief half healed, and dreams still raw. You deserve a place that welcomes your becoming, that knows your fire is not too much, your silence not too little. A place that sees your shadows and still reaches for your light. You deserve a community that listens when you speak your truth, that sits with you in turmoil and rises with you in joy, that believes in your voice even when it trembles. You deserve a circle that brings you hope and coffee and poetry, a place to rest, a place to rise. Let this flame be that place, not perfect, but possible, not without cracks, but full of light. Let us be that flame for one another. Will you please rise in body or in spirit, and we'll sing hymn number 1, the prayer for this house. Over coffee today, I invite you to share with one another your answer to Gretchen Haley's question. What's something that is beginning for you in this new year? T.S. Eliot wrote, "What we call a beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." Let us carry the flame, friends. Let the people say, Amen.